Hello, my MFA students. Welcome to Module 3, and we're going to go ahead and get right to it. This video is designed to show you how to do what we're doing. You can read the learning objectives on your own and other stuff on your own. But for this particular module, we are learning about a couple of really important things. One's a very hands-on practical thing, and one's more of a philosophical approach that we're going to be taking. So go ahead and read through the learning objectives at your leisure. Also read through the module overview. Keep in mind that we're going to be talking about basically the concepts of book doctors or developmental editors, and they're looking at something called the big picture. Also keep in mind that there are few rules, okay, when it comes to guilds that really defines how we have to do something. So there's a lot of wiggle room. So go ahead and read through that. Again, this video is mainly focused on how to do what we're supposed to do. Again, modular glance, since we're going to go over all of these right here, I won't spend a lot of time on this one. Let's get to the heart of it. The reading and resources. These are excellent, excellent readings and resources, especially these two right here. They're not very long. They're like websites. And then the additional lesson that we'll have this week, I will post another announcement about scams and a concept about that. Okay, so make sure you get out of this class what you put into it. Spending time on these resources will only help you with the assignments and broaden your education. Moving on to, before you get started, again, there will be a lesson or resource. It'll be posted in the announcement. It's a separate announcement. And again, it's a video I created that demonstrates the importance of being aware of scams and gives you examples. So please watch that. I tried to make it somewhat engaging, so it's not boring. There you go. All right, let's get to the first assignment. Okay, this is the first assignment. This is actually one of my favorite assignments of this whole class because it is very practical in the way that it is, this is something that could and maybe already has happened to you. So we're going to look at the activity. We'll click right here, which I've already done, and load up the activity. So this is the activity. So what you're going to do is that you're going to choose one of the following scenarios, just one of the following scenarios, and you're going to answer a couple of questions. Okay, let's look at the first scenario. Okay, so you've just finished speaking at your local library and you're signing books. Okay, and by the way, I've had all three of these happen to me, so these are not crazy. These are actually do happen. Okay, you have someone that says, hey, I've written a novel too. I'd love to have you read it. I think it's perfect. Maybe you can just pass it on to your publisher. Okay, so what do you do? What do you say? Okay, do you charge? So read through that. That's scenario one. Or you can choose scenario two. Let's say you're part of a critique group and one of the newer members comes up and says, hey, you know what? I really love the comments and the feedback that you give. I've got a book that I'm working on in progress. What do you think? And you say, oh, sure. And then they send it to you, and overall, it is a plotless, head-hopping mess. Okay? Oh, dear. What are you going to say to the writer? Or will you be honest? It is something you will charge a fee for. So there's the second one. Again, you only have to do one of these three. And then the third one is you log in and check your email. Someone you do not know has contacted you. They loved your latest novel, and they write the same genre that you do. Yay. And they're saying, hey, will you read my work in progress and give me feedback? How do you respond? I've had all three of these happen to me. What did I do? I'm not going to tell you because I want you to figure out what you would do. So for this particular assignment, pick one of these scenarios, 1, 2, or 3. What are you going to do with these scenarios? How would you handle the conversation? Maybe actually type out a email response, okay? Or, whatever. So there's two parts to this, as far as the rubric goes. You can kind of see that here. Explains how you would handle the conversation in the scenario. So if, let's say you're here and you're actually having this face-to-face conversation, right? What would you say to them? And then for me, the response is, how would you respond to the person in the scenario? It's like, well, isn't that the same thing? Well, yes and no. For that one, it's more along the lines of the concept of, would you charge them for this? Okay, would you charge a fee? How do you respond? Would you charge them to read their work? So this is, make it very clear that you're saying, okay, how I handle a conversation would be this way. And in responding to the person in the scenario, I would make sure that I would include the following elements. So as long as you do those two things, it will be fantastic. Now notice that any references should be cited in MLA formatting. At this point in time, all papers you submit academically, and this is one of these, should be in MLA formatting. You're like, but I don't remember MLA formatting. Well, that's okay, because I'll show you a little trick here. If you go to discussions, and you go down to 1-3, the graded the class assignments, okay, of the class resources, I have posted, ta-da, there are 3 videos here that help you with MLA formatting. This one walks you through step by step on how to format it. This shows you how to do a works cited, and this shows you how to do in-text citation. So there is the refresher you need for MLA formatting. Yeah, that's exciting, isn't it? That really is. Okay. All right, so come on. We're going to go back to, there we go. So this is the first assignment. So you're going to submit that. Does it say how long it has to be? No, just make sure that maybe a paragraph or 2 for each one of these things would be sufficient. And also notice that they did increase how much the articulation of response is worth. That used to be not as much worth as much. So make sure that you are writing properly and academically. Okay, so there is that assignment. That was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed that one because it helps you kind of deal with that in a safe environment instead of having to deal with it on the spot. All right, so now let's get on to 3-3. So as a heads up, in this class, there are 3 basically major writing assignments, which we will then kind of workshop. This is the first of the 3. So for this one, you're going to write it. I will give you feedback. And then in Module 4, you're going to post it, and you'll get feedback from your peers. And we'll talk about how to do that in Module 4. But so this is a paper, and we'll go through the details in a second, and it's basically your philosophy on coaching and mentoring. And so this is introspective, but there's some particular things we need to do. To get to the instructions, you click right here, Module 3 writing, boom, and this is the assignment right here. So for this assignment, this is a 2 to 3 page paper in MLA formatting. And again, I've shown you how to do that. I've shown you the resources that will help you do MLA formatting. Okay, so basically you're going to consider your philosophies and your approaches of how to revise work and how you would help others, okay? So specifically, okay, prompt, you will explain your philosophy on coaching and mentoring. So that's one of the major prompts. Remember that you will incorporate feedback from this assignment in Module 9. Okay, that's kind of what I said. It's like, so we have 3 major writing projects in this class, and all 3 of these are going to be then combined. That will be part of your final project. So that's how that works. But for this prompt, you will explain your philosophy on coaching and mentoring. And how do you do that? Well, there are these particular things you need to do. You need to articulate your pedagogical philosophy. If you're like, what is pedagogy? This is just basically teaching philosophy, okay? Explain the approach to coaching and mentoring, explain the appropriate industry-specific techniques from various forums. Where do I get this information? Oh, from the readings that we had and the resources. Articulate your system of revision you will employ in your coaching and editing. Okay, so pay attention. Big secret here. Here's how you're going to write this paper, and you're going to easily get to 2 to 3 pages, and you're going to get a good grade on it. Here's how you do it. Okay, you have an introductory paragraph where you basically say, in this paper, and you can write this in first person, I will explain my philosophy on coaching and mentoring, and then this is your outline. Okay, basically the first paragraph is you have a topic sentence that says my pedagogical philosophy is, and then you would answer this question and give an example. Okay, next paragraph, my approach, then you would answer this question and give an example. The techniques, the specific industry techniques I would use, explain that topic sentence, give an example. The revision techniques I would use would be, give an answer and give an example. Okay, make it stupidly clear for me to understand that you are addressing each one of these points. This is an academic paper. I often have students who decide to just write this like a creative writing paper and say, oh, the professor will figure out which one I'm talking about. No, I won't. Okay, I will try. Okay, but for academic papers, you need to make sure that in order to get 100% evident, you are very clearly addressing this particular prompt. And to get evident, you have to give a reason, answer the question, and give an example of why. Okay, so as long as you use this as your outline, and again, well, not this is just, again, make sure you're responding correctly. All right, organization, like also this excludes MLA formatting. So keep that in mind. All righty. And then last but not least, okay, class resources. Again, just like I showed you where I posted those MLA formatting videos, remember that over the course of this class, you need to post 5 different sources with an explanation of why that would be beneficial to the class. So that is Module 3. Now go have fun and do it.